I think there hasn't been that pressure until recently. They've been delivering good numbers, and as long as you're performing well, your investors are happy. They don't look at the details, and maybe the reports aren't in a beautiful format, and they're not giving the drill down on analytics that they would like. But because the numbers are good, they aren't creating a fuss about it. And many of these GPs have evolved over time, and they've hired locally, and they've had big teams in house. As they've grown and expanded, and that was the norm then. But we're seeing a lot of people now shifting and looking to outsource. But with that, they're lifting out their teams that were historically in-house, and in many cases they're moving to the administrator as well. So they have the continuity. They're giving a solution to their staff, so the staff aren't being laid off. And yet they're evolving and moving away from the historic model, which investors aren't interested anymore. And there are two real software solutions that give great reporting. There's Investran and there's eFront. They've really taken it to a new level in terms of the analytics you can get from your portfolio and the dashboard reporting that the LPs can get. And that's evolving, and they're investing huge amounts to make sure that they're not just good for now, but they're good for where the industry is going to be in 5 years' time in terms of what the investors are looking to see. 5-10 years ago, there wasn't that level of sophistication in software for the private equity space, because everyone was happy with it being done on Excel or Excel versions. Now the expectations have changed, and it's great that there are good solutions on the technology side out there which are able to deliver what the investors are looking for. They are accessible, but currently it's only the larger GPs that can afford them. It's not just a question of paying for them, but training the people to run it, paying the maintenance, upgrading it. It's a big investment. It's a very worthwhile investment, and I think the companies I mentioned are having a lot of success in terms of getting the larger GPs to take in their software and give the analytics internally that they need. And therefore, we find that being an administrator that's able to support and have matching technology to what the large GPs have, and maybe even supply the same sort of skill sets to the mid-tier GPs who don't want to spend, whatever that is, it's $500,000, $1 million. These are big numbers and make a big difference to a GP's P&L, as well as having to operate it and having the staff to operate it. So if they can get that through their administrator, the same quality of reporting, then they look like a big GP, and then they can raise extra assets for funds 2 and 3. So I think it's really key that people realize it doesn't have to be expensive if you outsource, and yet you're still looking like you're giving the detailed reporting that the investors are looking at and looking for, and therefore you're still able to attract capital.